and here I sit this fine morning in great East Coast rush hour traffic. Well, good afternoon. I have a smile on my face and I'm pursuing my happiness because I just entered the beautiful state of Pennsylvania. I didn't film anything when I was getting loaded at the shipper because they did not allow you to film anything. There were signs all over the place. But I am loaded with fresh seafood that delivers tonight. This is what I like about running short loads out here on the East Coast. They're usually same-day deliveries or very early morning deliveries. This happened to be a load that picked up this morning and delivers tonight at 7:30 p.m. at a Walmart distribution center. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, is just doing short hops out here on the East Coast, waiting for my customer to have a load ready for me. I actually got a phone call today. They have a load ready for me tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow, Friday. That delivers Saturday, and then I get reloaded Saturday with my load that brings me back to the Midwest. So yeah, I stopped here at this rest area on Highway 70 as soon as you come into Pennsylvania from like the Maryland area because I needed to pee, and I'm tired of peeing in a jug. Just being honest with you. That's something we do a lot nowadays because a lot of these shippers and receivers don't have bathrooms that we can use, or they have these absolutely disgusting porta potties. So yeah, I'm gonna get back on the road and try and find some parking and maybe get in a split sleeper berth before my 7:30 p.m. delivery. It's 6:05 p.m. I stopped here in Breezewood at the TA to take a 3-hour split sleeper berth and fuel up. I saved $121.50 fueling up at this TA today. Man, I haven't fueled up at TAs in quite a while because I don't like them anymore, but I like money more than my dislike for TA. So I'm currently 22 miles away from the receiver. My appointment's at 7:30. I can check in an hour early. Right now the GPS says I'll be there at 6:30.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind the fake.
Well, I'm backed into the dock. I'm unhooked from the trailer. This facility makes you unhook from your trailer. Now I just need to get to the central receiving office and check in. Like I said in the previous clip, you are not considered checked in at Walmart until the people at the central receiving office receive your paperwork. So that's where I'm heading now. Oh, finally made it to the central receiving office. It's about a football field walk, man. All right, well, now I need to check out here at this Walmart, which I'm almost to the gate, and then I need to find a place to park, which that could be a little bit of a problem. Where I am, there isn't much parking. Trucks right lane only. Outbound, use left lane. All right, well, I'm in the left lane. See how long this takes. Usually they just run out and grab your paperwork and say you're good to go. We'll see. I'll have to get out here and shut my doors.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes...
Well, I made it to my pickup here in Dubois, Pennsylvania. Following the signs that say shipping and receiving right here on the right, because I've never been here before and don't know if I'm going the right way. But I have a load that picks up at noon and delivers this evening, doing this East Coast hustle. So let's talk a little bit about what I'm doing today. I'm in, how do you say it? Dubois, Pennsylvania. I'm sure I'm enunciating that wrong. Damn French words, hard to say. Anyways, this is kind of like a straight through run. I got here at 10:30 for a noon appointment. I'm in a dock right now, they're loading me, and then I deliver tonight at 10 p.m. in Allentown, Pennsylvania, about 220 miles away, 225 from where I currently am. It's going to be a straight shot as well. I'm just going to take Highway 80 down to the, 476, right into Allentown. So that's what I've been doing out here in like Pennsylvania and out on the East Coast in New Jersey and Maryland and Massachusetts, is I'm running a lot of short day runs, and it seems to be working out. It's not like the most profitable stuff to do, but it keeps me busy, and you know, I make money, and it gets me to my meat and potatoes. I have a customer that I take care of on Fridays and Saturdays out here on the East Coast. So if I get out here a few days before that, I just run short hops. Well, it's 12:20 p.m. I'm loaded. I was here an hour and 20 minutes. Like I said, my appointment wasn't till noon, and they got me into a dock an hour before my appointment. An hour and 20 minutes later, I'm leaving this facility. I deliver tonight at 10 p.m. in Allentown. So I'm gonna find a truck stop, take a shower, and get a split sleeper berth in, so I can have hours after I unload tonight, because I'm sure it's gonna take 2.5, 3 hours to unload me. I'm going to a Lineage, so yeah, I'll get back with you all later. Well, it's 7:55 p.m. I'm already unloaded, have my bills. I got here at 6 o'clock p.m. for a 10 p.m. appointment. Hour and 55 minutes later, I have my bills, and I'm gonna take off. I have a customer pickup tomorrow morning about 30 miles away from here, so I am gonna head there tonight and sleep there so I can get loaded right away in the morning tomorrow. So I'll catch you all later. All right, I thought I would break down my week of East Coast hustling. This is something I do quite frequently. Things out here are changing dramatically, so I'm going to put this out there. If you do not have connections out here on the East Coast for reefer freight, don't come out here. This market is like turning upside down. It is not the market it was a week ago, and I was out here a week ago. Things are changing dramatically out here. For example, if you want to take a load from out in this area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, I even saw some loads up in Massachusetts, back to like Minnesota or Wisconsin, you are going to be getting like Florida rates, $1.50, $1.60 a mile, so a little bit better than Florida, but you're gonna get horrible rates. So if you don't have connections, don't come out here. But let's talk about the week that I just had. Today is Thursday night. I start tomorrow doing customer freight. Now, I got out here on Monday, but things went sideways right away for me. I ended up having my turbo actuator go out. I had to cancel all the loads that I had pre-booked. So starting Tuesday, I had to scramble and make things happen. Now, I'm going to also say this. I kind of have day rates that I would like based on miles when I come out here on the East Coast. I also want to say this, or put this disclaimer out there. You might think, looking at the load board, oh, I can take 2 or 3 loads a day. They're only going 140, 150 miles. You can't do it. With traffic and the load and unload times out here on the East Coast, you're going to get 1 load a day. Unless it's literally going like 20 miles, like, and not leaving, let's say, Jessup, Maryland. Say you're going from the east part of Jessup to the west part of Jessup, and you have 10 miles, 20 miles to go, you might be able to get a couple of loads in a day. But if you're going 120, 130 miles, you're going to do 1 load a day. And the cool thing about freight out here is it's usually straight through freight, or it delivers right away in the morning. You might pick up, if you pick up early in the morning at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be delivering that afternoon. If you pick up in the afternoon time, you're going to be delivering at like 2 o'clock in the morning the next day. I do like that because you're able to just keep moving. But let's go over my week. I ended up doing 3 loads. On Tuesday, I took a load from New Jersey that delivered Wednesday morning in like Fredericksburg, Maryland. That load was 123 miles with 10 miles of deadhead. It paid me $1,000. Now, I did have tolls because I was in New Jersey. I had to cross the Delaware Bridge. That was $35. And then I paid $9 on Highway 95, like over by Delaware, for a total of $44. Now, my second load was Wednesday morning, delivering Wednesday night at, I believe, 7:30 p.m. And that load picked up in Maryland also and went to Pennsylvania. It was a total of 144 loaded miles with 39 miles of deadhead for a grand total of 183 miles. I got paid $950 to do that load. And I did pay $9.40 in tolls. And then I did a straight through load today, Thursday. I picked the load up this morning, and I wasn't supposed to deliver it until 10 o'clock tonight, which it's not even 10 o'clock yet. But I showed up there at 6 o'clock, and I was unloaded by 7:55 p.m. That load was the longest load of this week. Loaded miles were 224. I did have a 120 mile deadhead to pick this load up because The load that I did on Wednesday, I kind of put myself in a bad area that normally has freight. There's no freight there anymore. So, lesson learned. But yeah, that was obviously a long deadhead, 123 miles. I mean, that was half the load. For total miles on that load today was 347. It paid me $11.52. So if you add up my gross for the week to the truck, it was $3,100. That is a rate per mile of $4.61 in an area where the national reefer rates are $2.55. So I hit it out of the park there. I did end up having to pay $70 in tolls. All miles that I put on in 3 days, 672 miles. But I work for a 90-10 split carrier, so my portion of that $3,100 is $2,790. That is a rate per mile of $4.15 on a total of 672 miles in 3 days. Now let's talk about like what I like to do for day rates when I come out here on the East Coast. Now, mind you, I have connections out here. I work with the same brokers. I don't even really have to look on the load board. I did this week just because I had canceled a bunch of pre-loads that I had pre-booked because I broke down. But I was calling brokers that I typically work with and was able to still get pretty strong rates. Like I said, in a market that's just is going downhill quick. I cannot stress this enough. If you do not have connections out here, don't come out here. You're going to hate it. But if you have some connections and you know the lanes, you can make some money. Here's what I do. Anytime I see a load that's going like 100 to 150 miles, automatically I am thinking between $700 and $900. That is a decent rate in this area, running those miles. Then what I do is if I see loads that are like 175 to 225, I'm thinking between 950 and 1200, to be honest with you. I'm not going to ever get that right now, but that's what I'm thinking, $950 to $1,200. Anything above that, if I start getting into 300 miles, which, like if you're going from New Jersey to Connecticut and stuff like that, or Massachusetts, you might get a load that's like 400 miles, but very seldom. But if I start getting into that 300 miles range, 300 to 400 miles, for me to run it, I need $1,500. I don't know if I can get that anymore out here. I might have to re-look at my numbers, but I have a plan when I come out here. So, like I said, if you don't have connections and you choose to come out here, have a plan and have it be realistic. Otherwise, you're just going to sit. You're going to find one of these truck stops. That's another thing, man. Finding parking out here is not easy. If you reserve a spot, don't expect to be able to park in that spot. And don't expect any of these truck stops to have somebody out there to move trucks if they didn't pay for the spot and they're in your spot. This is a tough area to be in. But if you come out here and you have a plan, and if you look at things like if you're running 120 miles and you want to make $600, $700, right now you can do that. But you're not going to have like huge stellar weeks. And once again, if you decide to come out here and you're going to try and leave this market to go back to where you're from, be ready for extremely low rates. I would recommend deadheading to like Ohio. The rates leaving this part of the country right now are in the toilet. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my video on my East Coast hustle. This is something I'm very familiar with. It's something I do all the time because I have a customer that we take care of out here on the East Coast, and I always get really good rates coming to the East Coast. The problem is I used to be able to get a lot better rates once I got out here to the East Coast and kind of hopped around like New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And those rates just aren't there right now. So make sure you have a plan if you decide to come out and do some East Coast hustling like me. But yeah, hope everybody has a great night. Until next time, you know what it is. Later.